Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my spoiler review since it's been out now for like over a week, so decided I would just do a spoiler one, no non-spoiler one for this one yet. I may do one of those later, but the spoiler review for the latest X-Men movie, Wolverine movie, Logan. And since this is a spoiler review, of course, spoiler warning if you haven't seen the movie, because I'm going to ruin the hell out of it in this one. So, yeah, you're warned. And there is some shit that goes down in this one. There is some stuff that happens. So the description for this one reads, in the near future, a wary Logan cares for an ailing Professor X in a hideout on the Mexican border. But Logan's attempts to hide from the world and his legacy are upended when a young mutant arrives, being pursued by dark forces. Sweet. So let's get it right out of the way right off the bat. This is going to be the last time Hugh Jackman is going to be playing Wolverine. Probably the last time Patrick Stewart will ever play Professor Charles Xavier. This is like kind of the final cap X-Men movie. There's talks right now that they're going to reboot the X-Men franchise. They're going to probably cast, all new people, that kind of deal. And highly unlikely we'll see anything in this kind of X-Men, universe again from Fox. All right. So this movie, how do I feel about this movie? This movie for me is really cool because I'm a huge fan of Wolverine. Wolverine is my absolute favorite Marvel character by far. I'm a huge fan of the X-Men movies. Yes, there have been some that are kind of hit and miss. X3, for example, kills off people in a way where I feel like you probably shouldn't, and then they have to kind of undo it with Days of Future Past and kind of bring them back, and it's kind of crazy sometimes the way the X-Men franchise has gone, but I've enjoyed the hell out of it. Watching it since I was in grade school with the first X-Men movie and the 3 Wolverine spin-off movies, which I can't believe they actually made 3, because if you think about just, how much that is in terms of like being able to get a movie, it's like Wolverine got his own trilogy. Like, it's kind of crazy as Hugh Jackman as Wolverine for that. So if you think about it, that's the 3 and 3, and then the 3 Wolverines. It's almost like 9 movies, that we've had with Hugh Jackman as Logan, as Wolverine. So in this one, of course, like I said, spoiler warning. Let's talk about it right away. They do end it in a way that I feel like is fitting for Wolverine, where he basically dies in peace, I want to say. So he dies kind of in peace, but okay, well, let's at least at the end. His last moment is at peace, staring at his daughter and, allowing himself to finally rest, to finally let it go. Which is one of the saddest scenes in all of X-Men, I want to say, in any of the X-Men movies. And it kind of makes this one an absolute must-see for fans of the X-Men franchise, because not only that, but you also have the death of our Patrick Stewart, Charles Xavier, which seems to be, to me, the the real death, the final real one, not where he's like blown into a million pieces in Brett Ratner's, X3. So it's a pretty sad movie at parts. It features those character deaths, and it's pretty sad to see. I mean, me as a fan, growing up with these movies, getting to see Hugh Jackman play Wolverine so many times, it's pretty sad to see the final kind of last hurrah for Wolverine in this movie. But that said, I think it's handled really well. I mean, it's told in a movie where James Mangold has compared it to kind of like Miss Little Sunshine, possibly meets Mad Max or something along those lines. And you get that feel because it kind of has kind of that on the road trip kind of, I don't want to say Mad Max, but on the road trip kind of feel, over 2 hours. So it is a bit lengthy. There are a few parts here or there that do, I would say, to be honest, that might drag a little bit for some viewers. And a lot of it, there's only certain parts of the movie that actually feel like a superhero comic book movie. Most of the movie, I would say, actually feels more like, I don't even know what kind of genre you'd want to put this one in. I mean, it's got the action, but some of these fight sequences are more like horror than they are straight up action. Especially when you get the scene where he's fighting X-24, and it's nighttime, and X-24 kills Professor X in pretty brutal fashion, and it kind of is a nice twist because what's going on, and then you kind of figure out really quickly, like, wait, he's wearing something different. What's happening? Like your brain puts 2 and 2 together pretty quickly, but it's all a lot to absorb because Professor X just got smoked. So, and I think that, too, is kind of brilliant to use as the final kind of villain for Wolverine in the X-Men movies is he he's able to beat pretty much everybody, right? So he faces Sabretooth, faces all these different Deadpool, I guess, all these different, villains all the way throughout. In the end, he ends up having to kind of face himself, or at least kind of a clone version of himself that is in the full-on Weapon X kill mode without the consciousness and caring about others and any kind of sympathy or empathy for anybody. So it's kind of deep in a way that his final battle is with himself, whether or not to live or to let it go. And he wins, of course, with the help of his daughter, and then allows it to just let it go and to die. Who, by the way, I really, really liked in this movie to see Laura, so to see X-23. Daphne Keane plays her and does an amazing job, I want to say, as Wolverine's daughter. It's funny in parts because she almost does look like him to me as like a girl version, especially when she gets angry and stuff and they're yelling at each other. And I love the swearing, shut the fuck up, stuff like that throughout the movie. It's pretty funny, man. And also, of course, as you would expect to see, with it being Wolverine, you get some wicked cool action kill sequences. I mean, you get some of the best action kill sequences ever in this movie. You get to see, claws going through dudes' heads, and, even Laura, some wicked kill, like the foot and stuff, like kicking a guy, and, with the foot blade and everything, which is really cool. It's just savage, at parts. Like, you just see absolute savagery, and X-24 just mowing people down and going through people and blood everywhere, and he gets stabbed so many times. He's got like a beater on, and it's like got blood everywhere. Oh my god, it's so bad. So emotionally for me, this movie is pretty emotional because it has some of those amazing, crazy moments that are done in kind of a more horror-esque fashion and more scary than what we're used to seeing in the regular X-Men movies. Yes, there are a lot of parts in X2, for example, where Wolverine will kill a guy into a fridge or in the foot or something, and that's wicked cool, really sweet. But in this one, it feels more like a horror movie, just because the blood and everything, and just the brutality, the how visceral it is, how violent it is. It's just, oh my god, it's just, you see everything, and oh god, it's just so brutal. So pretty scary, to be honest, and kind of shocking at parts too, especially with the deaths in that. So, and I really like the way they used X-23 in this one. Pierce, in terms of kind of our Reavers, villain, Dr. Rice, and kind of the whole project, and everything that's going on with this, Gabrielle and everything. I liked it for the most part. I thought it worked pretty well as kind of an ensemble of villains, so to speak. So you have Pierce, you have the Doctor, you have X-24, and kind of like him as like their attack weapon, so to speak, which of course you would have to have the others to go along with him. You couldn't have him by villain himself because he's not really like having Wolverine talk to himself. I don't know if that would really work. I don't feel like that would make sense. But the way they did it, where he's just like this soulless killing machine, it really did work for me. And it was, oh my god, just so brutal. Love the adamantium bullet. And everything like that kind of shadows back to the first, Wolverine movie. So it makes me really think about that with Alkali Lake and everything, and Stryker. So that was really good as well too. And all around, man, I really love the movie. In terms of score, I'm going to give it a 9.1. I'd say it's the best Wolverine movie that they've made, solo Wolverine movie. I like that they brought Patrick Stewart in to give that more of an X-Men feel, so it feels more close, doesn't feel distant, because if you just have it be Wolverine, it might be a little bit distant from the X-Men movies, and it may not feel like an X-Men movie, and especially because the genre in this one is so much different than kind of your regular poppy X-Men. Like if you just saw Apocalypse, for example, you've got a lot of those regular comic book feels to it and everything, and kind of special effects and kind of grandeur and everything that they did in Apocalypse or Days of Future Past or a lot of the other X-Men movies as well too, with the whole team base. Having Patrick Stewart in this one as Professor Charles Xavier really makes it feel like this is an X-Men movie, but it's not, Wolverine's going to swear. Yeah, you're going to see people get absolutely destroyed. And, we're going to show you the blood. We're going to show you everything. We're not going to hold back. We're going to have it be honest to really what it is, which some people may not necessarily want to see that. It might be a little bit too dark for them and, swearing and everything. Personally, I love it. I think it's great because it's like, kind of maybe the truest form of Wolverine that you can see in live action. And it kind of changed things for me. Like when I read Wolverine comics, I don't usually look at them as that dark, or I don't usually look at them is that scary and that based in horror. But if you think about what Wolverine is, he should be. He's a killing machine, you know? The claws are not like a shield. Captain America's got a shield to protect people. Yes, it can knock people out and it can stop people. Wolverine is just going to kill you. That's pretty much it. An evil Wolverine is going to kill you even faster because he's not even going to think about it. So, oh man, really cool stuff. I think that's just about all I'll say for this spoiler review. It's a pretty great movie, man. I enjoyed it a lot. Getting to see kind of the like almost like a western, that kind of thing, and the environment shots and everything was really cool. Very comic booky. If you've read Old Man Logan, of course, minus the Hulk stuff because they can't use that because it's Marvel and licenses and all that stuff. So, but. Really liked it. Liked the villain's choice for it. The only thing I would have maybe preferred is maybe if they could have gotten Lev Schreiber to play Sabretooth once more and had him come back instead of the X-24. But at the same time, it's kind of psychologically rich that you have an X-24 Wolverine kind of facing himself with kind of the ultimate bad guy villain in the movie being sort of the peak physical condition Wolverine that we've seen in past before, and the current Logan, sort of the older James Wolverine, being not quite that, in that kind of a state, kind of not sure if he wants to live, not sure if he wants to continue, and just having to fight for his daughter in this case, which he just found out that he even had his cloned daughter. So really cool movie. Definitely not disappointed with it at all. Was really happy. And also the ending, I think it was a good choice because if this truly is the last time that we're going to see Hugh Jackman is playing Wolverine in film, then that's probably the best choice to do that because it's kind of like we get to see, this character live in the movies. Through all the different movies and everything they've done, we get to see a good chunk of what his time is like from the beginning, when he's just a kid, when he's young, and how his origins, and then until the very end, to the very last moment. And then a little bit after, too, with X-23, with Daphne Keane as Laura. So, awesome movie. Really enjoyed it. You guys can write your comments below. Let me know what you felt about it. If you're an X-Men fan, how did you feel about kind of the genre of the movie not being sort of the usual, what maybe you're used to? I thought it was refreshing, and I thought it was really, really good. So write your comments below. Let me know what you guys thought about it. If you like this quick review, please thumb it up below. You can also share and favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe, bottom left to subscribe. Appreciate all the support, guys. See you again soon for another video. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See ya.